Welcome to iHeartGeek.
And welcome to another supplemental episode of iHeartGeek.
It's been so long since we've all been together.
Did you miss me since last week?
No.
No, I didn't think you did.
Yeah, I can't even make this.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
It's like a TARDIS came and took us from point A to point B.
Now that's the TARDIS.
Yeah, right.
That's a sick TARDIS. Okay, once again, we're doing our part 2 for our Matt Smith Doctor Who episode.
You actually did a part 2.
Yes.
I'm proud of you.
I tried. So let's go through our panel real quick. Sitting on one side of me, we have our favorite lovable curmudgeon. We have PB&Jason.
Hi, everybody. I'm positive. Wait a minute. That's not right.
I
Sorry,
wish it would be.
For a moment I was Kaj. No, oh, sorry. I mean, shut up. What do you just stop talking to me?
There you go.
Okay.
That's the Jason we all know and know. And to the other side of the table, we have my good buddy Kaj.
How's it going, everybody?
Outstanding.
Fantastic.
And we have our buddy from the other side of the state-ish. You're not really the other side of the world by any means. You're about 400 miles away. We have Chris from Faces and Aces. How you doing, bud?
Thank you for having me on. So if this is a 2-part episode, does that mean technically this episode is bigger on the inside?
It's always bigger on the inside. We never do 2-parters, so that's saying something.
Well played, Chris.
Thank you for having me on.
Let's do a little bit of housekeeping from last episode. We messed up. Let's go over
I messed up.
And someone else messed up, but I'll let them claim their own. I messed up because the doctor's wife was not actually the second to last episode. It was, I think... It was the
4th episode.
It was the 4th episode, and I still think... And it was still written by Neil Gaiman, and it was still fantastic. I just got the placement wrong, so I apologize.
Oh, I don't know if I actually made a mistake per se.
You did.
Other than I said that in the Chris Eccleston season... There was more episodic and not so much big tie-in, and I thought Bad Wolf went into Tennant, but I guess it ended at Eccleston. So that's fine.
No big deal, but
mine was like a minor mistake. His was like a massive.
They're both pretty
massive
minor.
flub.
Send all the emails to www.iheartgeek.com show.com/Dubs wrong.
Hey, we got to get those every once in a while, I guess. Quick promo for Faces and Aces. Can you talk about this real quick, sir?
Yeah, our show. I try to find the best stories that people have great times in Vegas. I try to find people to share their stories, to tell me about the good times that they had, and then once I have the idea of what that story is about, I go to Vegas and I try to find someone to interview that's somehow related to that story. So awesome. You've been a guest on the show as well.
Yes, I have been.
Kaj, you've been a guest on the show.
Yes, I have.
At some point, we're going to have you on. I'm sorry you keep getting bumped at the end of every episode, but at some point, we'll make the time for you.
He's the Matt Damon?
I totally thought the same thing.
No, in all honesty, I look forward to being able to appear on your podcast. I think you do a great job with your show.
Thank you, my friend. And I do have plans to try to figure out a way to work you into the show at some point, so we will legitimately have you on at some point.
Or work me over on the show. One or the other.
Yeah. we're all actual, honest to God, fans of your show, so it is really cool to be able to do this episode with you.
I'm a fan of your show.
I've been excited to do this for about the last month since we decided we were going to do this, so I'm very happy.
At least the last 10 minutes. He's been excited.
Oh, well, that's... never mind, family-friendly show. Too easy of a joke. So, yeah, we're talking Doctor Who, and we're talking Matt Smith, and last time we were talking companions, but we missed a big space in here. I don't know. Do we call River Song a companion?
Oh, man.
Because she's more than that, but she's not, but...
Can I offer up something that actually I want to pose as a question to the three of you?
Fire away.
All right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, no, they were not exactly the same character, but do you guys think that River Song was very much the Captain Jack of her time? Because he was not just a companion, but he kind of was. He was a pop-back-in character that was very important to certain plot elements. He had an interesting tie-in with the whole Face of Bo thing. And to me, and he was a swashbuckling type of, shoot from the hip guy. Do you see her as being, I don't want to say she's a recycled Captain Jack, but do you see maybe an inspiration from Captain Jack, maybe why she ended up having the role she did in her season?
I'll go first.
Well, good.
I kind of, the more that you were talking about, the more I'm thinking that those three individuals, Captain Jack, the Doctor, and River, are cut from the same cloth. So they're not necessarily companions because all of them know how to deal with time. They're all,
that's the thing.
They're all spoiler, like even River is to a certain extent, she is a Time Lord as well.
She is a Time Lord.
Yeah, and with the companions, they are just along for the ride. They kind of are involved, but they're not 100%. They don't know how everything works 100%.
Right.
They just know it works because the Doctor knows it works, or River knows it works, or Captain Jack knows it works. So.
Yeah, I'd agree with that because I think that Captain Jack and River were off on their own adventures. Had they not met up with the Doctor, they would still be having their own adventures somewhere in the galaxy, in the universe. Right. Whereas had Rory or Clara or any of the companions not met the Doctor, they would be serving fish and chips at a restaurant or just have boring, mundane, day-to-day lives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, So I think that's the nature, perhaps that might be the nature of the companion. The Doctor comes in, lifts them up, challenges them to be smarter than they are, and invites them to go on these crazy adventures, whereas Jack and River were already going on their own crazy adventures without the Doctor.
Right. So I would say soulmate.
I know that is a really interesting question, but I think like you were saying, they're cut from the same cloth, and that cloth is once you've been affected by the time stream and being able to control the time stream like they could, it changes you to the fact that you're going to be a certain type of person. So that is a really, really interesting perspective I've never thought of. Mm-hmm. So are they similar? Yes. Are they the same character? Not even close. People loved Captain Jack. People liked.
I love Captain Jack.
Oh yeah, everyone does. Not everybody
but again,
loves.
The question was more:
River.
is River inspired by? Is her role? And I don't want to go on and on about this, but would there be a River song if there wasn't a Captain Jack?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. That she was so pivotal for the story. Honestly, the 11th Doctor hinged upon her.
Okay. I mean, I'm just thinking about her first appearance because she appeared in the library.
The library
in Tennant's era,
which was
horrible.
When you go back and see it again, and then you know who she is and what all she went through.
Cry like a girl.
You get several tears. Yeah, It's, I don't even want to get into that.
Right. You feel verklempt.
Yeah. I don't. I'm a ball of emotion right now.
But no, I definitely don't think they were the same character.
Yeah.
No.
I just think they were. One was an inspiration from the other.
Yeah.
I'm talking about it from a writing thing.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. Not in the show proper, but as a character written.
Well, I feel that even like the Doctor, like Captain Jack is kind of inspired from the Doctor because they all have the same wonderment about the universe and where you can go, what you can do, but they just go down different paths. Yeah, more River is more of like the Catwoman of the group because she's a thief, bad. Little good, little bad, but she's always there. She's always there to spice up the normalcy of the Doctor, even though the Doctor himself is almost Willy Wonka, that he's just fantastical and that and then Captain Jack is just more of the Errol Flynn, the swashbuckler.
But we eventually see there's a little bad in that guy,
right?
Yeah. But now, what I find interesting with River is really the weird relationship that brings everybody into. So you have the Doctor, and he's married to his best friend's daughter. Who? Yeah, that whole thing just got
spoilers.
Before you even watched it by now.
Well, but even let's build up to that because that's a huge arc when it comes up because you don't know when the Doctor when the Doctor goes to war that whole or the Good Man Goes to War Demons Run
yeah.
where he like you see Amy Pond with the baby, and that it's all kind of like this huge, like she's in a sterile room and she's in this mining town, I think it was, or mining camp, and all this stuff goes down, and then you find out that who the baby is, and it's like,
but wait a minute, what we know as she arrives is we know that they're connected, the Doctor and River. We know that they know each other, but they're moving in different directions in time. Yeah. And that every time they come together, they actually know each other and get a little farther apart. But we don't know what that mysterious connection is.
Right.
And we don't know, what is their big thing? What is it between them? But then it comes out that, Chris, how about you on this one with River? What do we learn about River first?
What I was actually just wondering and pondering, do you think, I'm just going to take us back one step. Do you think that they knew where they were going when they created the character in Silence of the Library? Do you think that they actually had it all laid out, or did they have just the seed of a really cool idea that she was someone that's traveling backwards through his time stream?
Did Moffat do the episode?
I think Moffat is the writer for those two episodes.
If he is the writer, then yes, he knew.
He had it all laid out, you think?
If Moffat wrote the episode, yes.
And just kind of embellished it a little bit more and a little bit more along the way? Because what I wonder is, did he know? Because if that's the truth, then he had Amy and Rory already created as characters in his head way back then.
If he didn't write the episode, then I would say no. But if he wrote the episode, then I would certainly say yes.
I'm going to have to do some homework and find out.
I'm totally looking it up right now.
Question didn't dawn on me until we were sitting here recording this. And now I got to know.
The thumbs are going. He's looking it up as we do.
My thumbs are cramping.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so while we're talking about that, so I'm sorry, what was the question that you asked me?
Just, I don't know if we're on the same page on this, but what was the first really important thing that we learned about River as it relates to her relationship with the Doctor?
The first important thing that we learned about her is that she killed a man.
She killed a man.
Yeah.
But that they were married in the future also.
They hinted at that.
They never said it.
They actually straight up said yes a couple of times, but they played it in a way where you weren't sure if they were joking or lying or giving misinformation or misdirecting. Right. But they laid it right out there at her first appearance that, this is the Doctor's future wife.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, so our looking for who wrote the library episode is turning us up nothing. But what did bring us up?
I did find as eighth episode. Well, I got this one too. It was a podcast. Are we taping?
Yes, we're taping.
It's Force of the Dead, two-parter, Empty Child dances for. It doesn't say if Moffat
says that in the second two-parter, Stephen Moffat contributed to the series.
Okay.
After The Empty Child.
Okay, so that answers that question.
So it says Moffat, that he did write
Moffat wrote the episode, so I would say he absolutely knew.
But he didn't know he was getting that job either, though.
But he absolutely knew if he did where that story was going.
But I did find out that that Alex Kingston was not the original choice for River Song when it came up. The original choice for the role was actually Kate Winslet, who had a history with Davies. Yeah.
I would say that she probably would have played her better in all reality. I never say that.
No,
I think that she
Alex Kingston. No, she is.
I would have to disagree.
Gorgeous human being, and you take that back.
I liked her.
Chris,
Kate Winslet.
Can I give you the honors and just say, Dub, you're wrong?
I don't think he agrees.
Kate Winslet is an amazing actress, but Alex Kingston just crushed it in that role.
I think she did amazing.
Of playfulness that I don't know if Kate Winslet could have pulled off.
So you can say it now. It's safe because we all basically agreed that Dub was wrong about that.
Okay, cool. What do you want to say on that one? Okay, so we've discussed River Song to death now. So let's move on. And I want to, as we're kind of in the second half of this episode, we want to go through each season of this Doctor and tell us what our top two episodes are, kind of how we do the main event. But let's start with what is that, season 5. I'm going to say one of mine first, and that would probably be The Beast Below, which we've discussed before with the clowns and the space whale. Just a fantastic episode.
What was wonderful about that episode was when Amy put it together at the last minute. That was where you saw kind of who Amy was going to be. And that was really great.
Yeah, that really was the first evolution of Amy.
Right.
And it wouldn't have worked if Rory was there.
No, not yet.
Yeah.
Right.
He needed time, but I think that was just a fantastic episode. And the whole space whale thing is really, you have the choice whether you want to forget and, things can be normal, or, do what you got to do, and everybody dies. Like, wow.
Right. Mine's, since we're going with 2, mine's a 2-parter.
Okay.
So it's episode 4 and 5, the Time of Angels and Flesh and Stone, where they were, the doctor was looking, they found that another crack.
Yeah.
And they went into this cave, and then all of a sudden you see all these weeping angels that are there, and just the suspensefulness of them coming in, and it wasn't just that they could come through the TV screen. That
with River Song, by the way.
with River Song. River Song's in there, and then the whole I think the doctor jumped through one of the cracks to try to figure out what was going on, and just
great episode.
Can I offer one thing though? One that I think is actually the biggest criticism of that episode. I hate to say it, but they never should have showed the angels move. Never should that have happened, because that ruined the whole mystique of how they move so fast.
Right.
And when they started just turning heads and moving, I was like, oh, you just ruined this image for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what I would give that episode as a redeeming quality, at the final episode of that season, when the doctor is rewinding through his time stream and he ends up in that episode, if you watch the original episode when he approaches Amy, he's wearing his coat. And so they had that laid out that he was going to be rewinding through it. And so they had the forethought to have him put on his coat, even though in that episode it was pulled off by an angel.
Right.
And so it was, I went back and looked at that. I said, that's brilliant. You guys, again, paying attention to detail really pays off on this show.
That's Moffat to a T.
Nice.
Totally.
Yeah. So what's your first of your 2 on this season?
First of my 2 is the 11th hour, the introduction of Matt Smith. And I think it's really interesting because a lot of the big climax episodes for David Tennant had to do with the Earth in crisis, and David Tennant would save the Earth.
Yeah.
And I felt like this first episode with Smith, he saved the Earth, but then he also let the universe know that he's protecting the Earth. And from there on out, whenever there was a huge, giant crisis, it was bigger than just saving the Earth. It was about saving the universe or saving existence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so this one episode just really opened up the series
Large
to
scale.
much bigger stakes.
Nice. Jason?
My 2 were also The Beast Below. I completely agree with you on that. Surprisingly. No, I'm kidding. And Vincent and the Doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are my 2 favorite from 5.
Okay. My next one up was The Lodger. We don't need to discuss the Van Gogh episode because we've discussed it already.
So good.
But The Lodger was the one with Craig Ferguson or
Craig T. Nelson?
Wow, I'm
James Corden.
Craig Kinnear?
James Corden.
Yes, thank you, James Corden.
James Craig Gordon?
Yes, that's the one.
Flash
I'm
Gordon.
brain fart days, but we've had a lot of shows already. Again, just such an entertaining episode. It was lighthearted and funny with the same gravity that they always have, but it just the lightheartedness is something I really enjoyed.
Mm-hmm. I already told my 2.
Oh, you chose everybody told their 2 except for me then.
Oh, my second one was The Big Bang, the final episode of the fifth season.
Yeah, I told my 2 also from 5.
Yep.
So we're doing the 2 from 6?
We're doing our 2 from 6. Jason, start with you this time.
Okay, my 2 from 6. The first one is The Doctor's Wife, where the TARDIS took on, for a brief time, human form.
Yes. Oh my gosh,
And that was
the
and that
perfect
was-
episode.
Yeah, and the uncle and the aunt and the ood and the
And it was so
and
Neil Gaiman.
Katie will kill me if I don't remember this. What was it? oh, I like this biting thing. It's kissing, but there's a
winner.
Yeah, it's like kissing, but there's a winner.
Yeah. So that was a really great episode, I thought. And then I can't deny A Good Man Goes to War.
Yeah.
Because of what
Me too. That's on my list.
Everyone's list
because of what we learn in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great episode. I love that they bring everyone that the Doctor has helped in the past, they're there to repay their debt to him. Such a fantastic episode.
Right, and we learned all about the whole Melody Pond connection.
Yeah.
I just told I gotta say, because I remember, I think this is when we actually realize about River Song, like what she actually is.
Yeah,
let's kill Hitler. Right.
Oh yeah,
let's kill Hitler.
Was that season?
Yeah,
that is.
Oh, that's part 2 of the season.
That's part 2 of the season. Yeah, it's episode 8. Nice. Because I think that's when she goes through and I think it's when she actually changes. She actually changes into River, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, from Mel into
River. Yeah.
River, right.
Yeah. Which was also great because Mel, you're a little bit sad because you don't think that Rory and Amy got to raise their child, but they actually grew up with their child as their best friend, and in many ways they ended up raising her because they're the ones who always bailed her out of trouble.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Which it's a trippy concept to say the least.
Yeah, it's messed up, man.
So I think you're two.
And then my number 2 is the wedding of River Song.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just with a lot of these episodes, they're just hard to put into words.
Yeah.
Words are hard when it comes to describing Doctor Who episodes because the episodes are so big and heady. But I got the feels in that episode. I'll just simplify it and say I got the feels.
Yeah, got the heavy feels.
Especially that season. Because that season was so... If you missed an episode, you missed something.
Right.
So, yeah, that season was so tied in.
I think I like the episodes that have just big concepts and that time is disintegrating, or rather, everything is happening at once.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of like the idea of Churchill existing at the same time
as
Charles
God,
Dickens
I love the Churchill
with
stuff.
pterodactyls and.
Yep.
Jason actually took my exact 2, so I'm just going to throw these 2 out, which was the Rebel Flesh and the Almost People. God, it's such a just.
Those were like actually the prequels to A Good Man Goes to War.
It's just that concept on it is just crazy.
Yeah.
Just like, how do you feel for these people, but they don't exist, but they do, and like it makes you question your whole existence. And I love those episodes.
And doppelgangers are just scary. I'm sorry, but they just are.
I'm surprised you didn't do Closing Time.
Closing Time was fantastic.
Yes, with James Corden as well.
Yes, that was another. Yeah, really good episode. And it's like this is like picking kids. How do you pick your favorite?
Right.
Okay, let's move on to season 7, the final season. I want to throw mine out first this time, and I'm going to go A Town Called Mercy.
So good.
Nightmare in Silver, which was the other Neil Gaiman episode. I know you guys didn't like it, but
I didn't mind
it had Warwick in it, and it was just such a really interesting concept. One of the few times I really liked Clara. I liked it, and I liked the nerdy soldiers in there that like, oh wow, all the Doctor Who fans can totally get this guy. I get it. It's really a fun episode.
I'm gonna say it. It's probably on somebody else's list, but I gotta say it first. The Angels Take Manhattan.
I didn't like it.
That just a kick in the teeth, and I've seen recently like something like with. You think that they've gone, but that's when Amy and Rory get taken by one of the angels, and they get transported off to a distant time. But they were saying that River kept watching the angels so that the Doctor could escape.
Right.
And that just killed me. She just saw her parents get removed, and she's still fighting for the Doctor.
And honestly, I loved the concept. The thing that threw me off, that made me so I don't like it at all, is the Statue of Liberty thing. Was absolutely ridiculous.
But you like the Statue of Liberty in Ghostbusters too.
Yes, that's different.
Hypocrite.
I thought it was just too far fetched, honestly, and that was that. Usually, Doctor Who, I can stay in the moment with the Statue of Liberty. I couldn't. The concept was fantastic, but that Statue of Liberty thing just really drove me nuts.
Yeah. It kind of touches on what we were saying before. He likes to take the mundane and turn it into something fantastic, and that's one of the examples where I think that might have been a miss.
Yeah,
on his part.
Well, and honestly, when is the Statue of Liberty not looked at?
By someone somewhere. Yeah,
exactly. 24/7 is being looked at.
Especially if it's walking down the streets of Manhattan.
Yeah. I think everyone would look. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I have to pick, and I'm not sure if this is season 7, but it's right in between 6 and 7, The Snowmen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give that a 7.
Actually, yeah, that is between. That's right in between 7 part 1 and 7 part 2.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's
Christmas episodes.
I just love. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Christmas episodes always count as the next season.
Sure. Right. And so, I think this episode may have had one of the best scenes in all of modern Doctor Who, which is the single word test, where she asks Clara a question. Which, by the way, I love the Paternoster gang. I love those 3 Strax.
Oh my gosh, they are fun, aren't they?
Yeah. How did they not come up yet?
Yeah, because there's so much. It's like you get a lot of it gets lost.
Yeah. But so they administer the one-word test where she could only answer the questions with one word. Why? Because lies are words. The truth is singular.
Yeah.
And that's flat out just straight up truth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was awesome. You're right. So we're doing just one. And then the other?
I did my 2.
Oh, you did your 2? One of mine is also Snowmen, which I completely agree. And the other one was Dinosaurs on a Spaceship.
Yes.
Yeah. because
everybody loves that one.
Because that one was
so good.
It was really funny. Kiss Rory on the mouth and all that one, and just the spaceship and the dinosaur. Like take 2 things that really don't go together and mash them together: dinosaurs and a spaceship. And it was just great. It was funny. It was a little bit lighter, and I kind of like that. It was a time when it kind of needed a little light break.
Yeah. Well, it did after just the levity of everything. It is nice to kind of pull things up every now and again.
Yeah.
And it had what's his name from Harry Potter, Filch.
Yeah.
Who also played the
First Doctor.
The first Doctor, which we will be reviewing with John from California, as the first Doctor.
Yeah. So good. Yeah. So, if I have to throw out another one, like they're all great. Like you said, it's like naming children here. Nightmare in Silver, which is also a Neil Gaiman written one as well. Where, if I'm not mistaken, that's where Matt Smith, like he got the Borg kind of stuff on it. Like it was a replica or something. Like it was fighting with himself, right
like in his mind.
Yeah. He kind of. I can see the picture, but I'm trying to remember the episode now. Let's see. Artie Ange blackmailing Clara. The Doctor decides to take the children of Hedgewick to the world of wonders. Cybermats. It was a good episode.
Is that like laundry for Cybermen?
Yes.
Excellent.
That's when they go get cleaned. It's like a car wash for Cybermen.
Nice.
All right.
Okay. Did we get through all our picks?
I don't know.
Sounds good to me.
I'm just having fun talking about Doctor Who. That's all I know.
Want to
now we're just
throw in
shoving
the
the
Bells of
TARDIS.
St. John.
Wait. Go ahead, Chris. Say that again.
Oh, I got one more. I just
Okay,
want to fire away
yeah.
the Bells of St. John.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I love the play on, the little sign on the TARDIS that it's the St. John, and the phone is ringing, and they call it the Bells of St. John. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
St. John ambulance. Yeah, that's a fun little...
Another little levity, which is always nice.
Did you guys like the Vampires of Venice?
The Fish People of Venice?
I liked it. A lot of people didn't. I was just kind of curious where you
The
guys
Walking Piranha of Venice?
with the creepy mouths.
It was okay. That's
I
another
liked it.
trope of Moffat. He likes the big mouth, sharp teeth thing.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And very strong women.
I completely forgot. What about the Crimson Horror? I completely forgot about Madame Vastra.
Yeah.
The reptile
Oh,
woman,
yeah.
and her companion Jenny, and then Strax, the friggin'
Sontaran.
potato, the potato guy.
Sontaran.
Yeah.
Oh, he is so good. I forgot about him.
Or Sontarian. I don't know, one of those.
Centaurian? I don't
Sontaran.
Centaurian?
What are those little guys at the little bald guys?
I'm looking.
Saltarian?
Sontarian?
Sontarian.
Sontarian.
Yeah,
So I
Sontarians,
did say
yeah.
that.
Yeah, we said it right.
Okay.
Sure.
Excellent.
I'm sure people will write into the Facebook page and tell us that we're wrong.
we're wrong.
Yeah.
Because they do that.
But I love Strax. Let's melt his brain with acid fish.
Yeah. he was so nice and polite, but then he would want to destroy you.
Yeah, he was a dirtball, but he was awesome. He was polite about it at least.
Yep, love him.
Yeah, he's going to kill you like a gentleman.
No, yeah. And his favorite place is Scotland.
Nice. Okay, well that's an episode. That's awesome. Before we give our stuff, one more time, how do people get a hold of you, Chris?
Hey, people can get a hold of me on Twitter at Faces and Aces LV, and you can find my podcast at all the places you find podcasts.
Yes, and we put your links up every now and again. We'll do it with each of these episodes because they are fantastic shows and you should watch them. And if you don't watch them, I don't want to be or don't listen to them, I don't want to be your friend.
Yeah, because if you watch them, that's kind of weird.
Well, that'd be some of our listeners.
But
Looking at your phone, watching.
Yeah.
No, it's a great show, Chris.
The credits
Keep-
slide
keep
by.
it up,
Thank
buddy.
you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay, check out our show, www.iheartgeekshow.com.
It's a great show, Dub.
Yes.
It is a great show.
Okay.
I watch it all the time.
Okay. You should. Go to Twitter at iHeartGeekShow and go to the Facebook. Talk to us. We talk back. Take the polls, all that fun stuff, yada, yada, yada. And until next time, I'm Dub.
I'm Kaj.
I'm Chris.
I'm PB&Jason.
Keep
on
geeking
on.
You've been listening to iHeartGeek. Our Twitter account is at iHeartGeekShow. Hope you enjoyed the show.